Princess, your stepbrother is not your brother, neither is your stepmother your mother. I know you are confused, but I cannot reveal the full details to you, as it is dangerous out here. But if you want to live to see tomorrow, leave Awero and come with me. It was on Friday afternoon as the kingdom of Awero mourned their loss. Princess Lucia was the only princess of Awero, and she deeply showed love to the people of Awero, unlike her brother Lucas. Lucas only cared about one thing: the throne. The people of Awero loved and wished Princess Lucia would be the leader of Awero, but they knew that wouldn't be possible because the king has a son. The princess came to the river that afternoon, not to play with the water as usual, but to lament over her father's death. The king, although not sick, had passed away that morning. Her father was a very fair king who let she and her stepbrother have a say in the affairs of Awero. She had been lamenting for hours, but suddenly she noticed an unusual movement in the water, and to her surprise, a mermaid creature she thought was only a tale revealed herself. She was Muna. She had been secretly watching over the princess from the water surface and had appeared now to reveal the deepest secret of Awero and save the princess from the great danger that awaits her in the evening of that same day. Princess, your stepbrother is not your brother, neither is your stepmother your mother. I know you are confused, but I cannot reveal the full details to you, as it is dangerous out here. But if you want to live to see tomorrow, leave Awero and come with me. The princess had to make a tough decision as she left the kingdom she has grown to love. The mermaid took her somewhere safe, and that night, Lucas and the queen sent men out to search everywhere, but they could not find the princess. Lucas and the queen, rest assured that Lucia won't be a threat to the new king's coronation, started to prepare for the event. Awero was not only mourning their king, but also the loss of the hope of kindness. They searched everywhere for the princess, but could not find her. So, they grudgingly prepared for the coronation of their new king. These people have not seen anything yet. Let me become the king of Awero first. I will collect all the land close to the river and turn the people to my fishermen. Ha 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 ha. Prince Lucas laughed as he thought of the things he ought do when he finally becomes king. In the secret kingdom, Muna cast a time travel spell, and Lucia saw everything from how the queen got pregnant to how her father died. She was heartbroken by the newfound truth, and her heart yearned only for vengeance. Princess, how is your spell lesson going? Asked Muna, as the princess had been training non-stop for days without resting. It is fine, Muna. I just can't wait to expose the evil queen and her son, replied the princess as her hands caught fire. In the human and mermaid kingdom, humans get to learn spells that make them adapt easily to mermaid lifestyle. And the mermaids have nothing to learn, as all the spell they try to cast to change their tails to leg failed. They only rely on their strength to read human minds, protecting themselves against any human that thought of betraying them. On the seventh night of living in the secret kingdom, Princess Lucia sneaked out to Awero, and Prince Lucas was already pledging to be one of the greatest kings that ever ruled when she got there. and she watched from a distance. By the power bestowed upon me as the Knight of Awero, I present to you the king's scepter, said Knight John, but was interrupted by fire. Princess Lucia had made her appearance with fire, and the villagers drew back as they did not recognize her. I am Princess Lucia, the true heir to the throne, and I am here to take my rightful position, even if it means to prove Lucas is not the true heir to the throne. I will do it, she said with determination and a victorious smile. However, the people of Awero were confused although happy to have their princess back. But the expression in their faces soon turned to shock and disgust after they saw the truth from the time travel she casted that took them back to all the events that happened before Lucas was born. And just when she was about to reveal how the king died, someone casted a water spell at her, and all the water in her body began to evaporate into the air. She tried casting the fire spell, but nothing happened. And just when she was about to totally lose her spell abilities, she cast the water spell. All the water she had lost and other waters in the air began to enter her body. Princess Lucia, due to her present temperature, was already losing control of the water spell. She tried her best to control it, but it was already too late as the fire spell casted hit her body. She collapsed, and the people of Awero, having witnessed this, fled in different directions. However, Muna, who soon noticed Princess Lucia had sneaked out of the secret kingdom, came looking for her. She witnesses the fight that happened in the king's coronation, but dare not reveal herself, lest she endanger the secret kingdom. She waited patiently, and immediately Lucia collapsed. She made a water spell that carried the princess to the river without drawing attention, and she took her back to the secret kingdom. Prince Lucas, having received the scepter, despite the fight that happened during his coronation, was now declared King of Awero. He was still in shock as to how Lucia got the ability to cast spells, but his mother reassured him that they also had someone who would teach him how to cast any spell, and so no harm will come to him. He felt relieved and immediately started his spell training. He also sent men around to observe the most fertile land in Awero, and they came back with the list. He took the list and wrote a letter to all the families stating his intention to buy each of the land for a price. The families who received the letters agreed quickly, as they feared King Lucas more after the incident that happened during his coronation. And so, he became one of the richest kings, as he was now the main supplier of farm produce in the village of Awero. The villagers who once had abundance of farm produce no longer had farm produce because the farm given to them was not fertile. So, they would pay money to the king's official to buy farm produce. And many of the villagers became jobless in a few months' time, as they no longer had farm to go to. And since they were spending money to buy farm produce, the money they had soon finished, and as hunger soon struck the people of Awero, they were forced to think of a better way to survive the hardship, as their king did not care if they die or they live. Some of the villagers decided to work for the king so that they can gather enough money and relocate to another village. But others, having heard of how the king treated his workers not paying them their salary when due, refused to work for him. The queen decided it was time the king got married using the people's weakness. She made her son ask for a wife in exchange for food, and the king's declaration soon got to the people of Awero. But some of them felt it was wrong to exchange few bags of grain for a wife instead of the normal marriage rites. So they sat back and watched their fellow men have 3 square meals for free just because their daughter happens to be one of the king's wife. However, when the hunger in the land became unbearable for them, they soon joined in exchanging their daughter for few bags of grain. And sooner than expected, they all gave their daughter to the king, but none of their daughters ever got pregnant for the king. And because of this, the king stopped giving them grains. The men, ashamed to ask the king for grain, decided to man up and look for a way to feed regardless of hunger. Putting their heads together after several meetings, they came up with a plan. For years now, the village of Awero had not fished in their big river due to the rumor that Mermaid lived there. But the circumstances of their village left them with no choice but to go fishing in lakes, pond, and the big river. However, just when the people began to make some money from fishing, King Lucas issued a declaration that he had bought all the land by the riverside and everything in the river, so no one has the right to fish there except him. The people could not understand what the king wanted from them, so in their helplessness they cried to the palace. King Lucas was touched by the people's plea to be given a fair means of living, but he went to see the queen about giving the people a fair means to earn and lived. And the queen said to him, "The people of Awero will only respect and accept you as their king if they have nothing, no food, no power, and no money. But my son, now is not the time to be weak. Let the people suffer and beg more, so that whatever you give to them will make them worship and see you as their only savior, not your useless sister." King Lucas nodded at the mention of Lucia, as his ego wanted the people to accept him and swear total loyalty to him, despite the full awareness that he is not the true heir to the throne. Meanwhile, in the secret kingdom, Princess Lucia had not only recovered from the incident that happened at the king's coronation, but also learnt the virtue of patience and was waiting for the right time to strike. You know, had you told me of your plan to attack your brother before going, I wouldn't have allowed you, said Muna after saving her life. Your brother has the power of the queen, and the queen in turn have many secret allies. You would have gotten yourself killed, and no one would have remembered what you fought for. Promise me you won't leave until you have gained full control of the 3 powerful spells, and you will let me know all your plans before attacking next time, requested Muna between anger and pity. And that was how Lucia promised and remained under the watchful eyes of the Sacred Kingdom for 2 good years. In those 2 years, she secretly watched King Lucas, suffered, took their daughter, and starved her people. But taking over the river went too far, as this drew the attention of the mermaids and humans living in the Sacred Kingdom. They made several preparations and plans, and soon the king of Awero will be hit by what he did not see coming. Finally, the long-awaited battle came, and all the mermaids gathered at the bank of the river to help the princess. Little did they know that the battle will extend beyond the riverbank. In the course of the battle, Knight John kept blocking Princess Lucia's spell, not giving her the chance to attack Lucas or the queen. She was having a hard time because he had led her far from the riverbank, away from the mermaids. And as the mermaid fought against the queen, King Lucas and his allies, they soon discovered Lucas could cast any spell, just like the human who was banished from the secret kingdom years ago. And that meant only one thing: taking him down wouldn't be easy. And as the battle became more intense, the mermaid who left the water started to jump back into the water because the temperature of the land was unbearable. The princess by now was now receiving attacks from all angles, but remained strong because Muna was still out of the water, trying her best to defend the princess despite the temperature of the soil. Muna hit Lucas with her fire spell, and in rage, he returned all three spells to her, and this drained her powers because she was not in water. The princess, noticing this, ran to where Muna was, almost losing consciousness, and in tears, she touched her wounded tail, and they became legs, surprising both of them. And Muna immediately regained her spell abilities. She and Princess Lucia came back stronger, shocking the queen and her allies, and she immediately recognized Jean as the human who was expelled from the Mermaid Kingdom after being caught trying to steal the Mermaid scepter. Muna faced John and his allies, leaving the queen and Lucas at the mercies of the princess, and together they defeated Knight John, the queen, Lucas and all his allies, leaving them with no ability to cast spells. Princess Lucia took her rightful position as the heir of HEIR, and she was crowned the Queen of Land and Water. Moral lesson: the moral lesson of this story is this: cooperation with the right people is gold, and anyone who has this will go far in life. Remember how Princess Lucia went alone the first time to fight for the truth. What she was fighting for was good and it was the right thing, but since she went alone, she lost. But the second time she went with her crew, did you see how she fought and won? It was because she had the backing of people who wanted the same result as her. So guys, don't forget to back yourself up with the right people as you choose your path in life, either in career, relationship, friendship, marriage, job. The list is endless because we need backing. Did you learn anything also from this story? If you do learn something, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much guys for watching. Do not forget to like, subscribe and share this story with someone today if you enjoy it. Till next time, bye.